By the way, this is quite an anomaly. This would be what, part four, part five? I can't remember. This will be part five for our 409 date. So the transfer portal of time, which we discovered was January 10th, 2022. And you'd have to go way back in the archives to find that video, but you can search it. You can search it on my channel. Remember the magnifying glass on a computer? I don't think you can search on a cell phone, but on a computer from, my YouTube channel. All YouTube channels, they give you a magnifying glass. You can search it out. Um, for instance, we just say transfer portal. And there's a bunch of them. Because, I think the word tutorial, where in the world? Did I spell it wrong? Tutorial? Tutorial. Tutorial. I spelled it right. Well, where is it? Because we did one and I mean, you can sit there and look at how many dates we've had. Transfer portal of time. Transfer portal of time. Oh, I thought it was the tutorial where we really explain what the transfer portal is. And I don't know. One of them is called tutorial. Forwards, backwards, teaching tutorial. There it is. So I'll put it down in the description. Okay.
All right, everybody. This is an introductory video about
I'll
what the
put it
transfer portal is.
I'll put it in the description. So anyway, this see, dates mirror each other on a 12-month calendar. Like 311, when they declared the illness in 2020 is opposite 9/11. So they do a lot of opposite dates. Opposite dates mean a lot. And the mirror of or across the pond, of April 11th, the rising day, if we're correct about this April 9th date, April 11th is opposite October 11th, which, October was the eighth month. 8 times 11 is 88. So there's that aspect of it. But April 11th is opposite October 11th. And believe it or not, the transfer portal of time takes us from October 11th to April 11th. That is very, very, very unique. That doesn't happen on any other of the transfer portal back and forth dates. That's the only place where that happens. That's the hinge. So that's very interesting. Hang on just a second. Was there anything else? The Donnie Darko date of October 2nd, 88 is 13703, which I thought was pretty interesting because you get your 37s in there. 37 years. and the 13703. 37 is prime number for the church, so I just thought it was interesting. And the Ghost in the Machine album release is a palindrome, if you include both dates, or on the middle date, uh, the date in between, which is, when they through the AI is, which will be the mark of the beast, like through that Ghost in the Machine where Satan will enter and possess the body through that ritual. It is, the middle day on 410. But if you include both dates, which we can always do, it's a palindrome 16261. So if we just drop it to the ninth and do what we're allowed to do, include both dates, it's a palindrome. So that's pretty interesting also. I guess we should then bounce that date off of Tenet and see if it gives us something extraordinary. 14208. And run it to September 3rd. Wow. 14216, 6 times 6 times 6. It does bounce off of it. I noticed that today when I was doing stuff. If y'all caught that in my I'm pretty sure that y'all caught that. Let me make sure that I made that clear to y'all. So let me check volume. The Prestige just jumped off everything. It popped big time. You see the 409 cryptically right there too, don't you? 40 million and the 109 million could mean nothing, but when their AI sites show stuff in movies, they can show stuff that simple. We always go for the obvious. And look at the Prestige dates, October 17th, 20th, and November 10th. Let's go. October 17th to the rising day, which is what the Prestige means. There's your 1016 in the weeks, which is backwards, upside down, 911, 116 code. And look at the days, 7,116. 116 backwards, upside down, 911. And it's fused with 711, which is your Revelation 11:7 right there. Because September 11th was once the seventh month. And most countries write the date backwards, so that's what they're giving us there with the Prestige, the 711 fused with the 116. Now go to the other date, 711 fused with 11.3. Prestige is bringing it back. We're bringing back the Twin Towers with the One World Trade Tower, and One World Trade Tower opened on 11.3, and there's your 11.3. 711 fused with 11.3. Folks, this stuff is popping. It's popping. Goodness gracious. And the other Prestige date, it's 7092 to the rising day, but that I wanted to show you as it's 7090 on the 79 or murder date. 79 is murder in simple gematria. There is 7090. Drop the O's. There's your 79 right there to the murder date. A clean 79. The Prestige. Oof. Wow. Wow. One thing I didn't go over with y'all today was the pale blue eye. I need to do that. The pale blue eye. That's what I forgot to go over with y'all. I knew there was something I forgot. And it had two dates, December 23rd and January 6th. December 23rd and January 6th, all 2022. Whoops. 2022 and 2023, it's December to January. 2022, December 23rd. When you run the pale blue eye, it's 1203. Then it was January 6th, 2023. That's what it was. Y'all, 1189 is Donald J. Trump and the Jewish Hebrew gematria the most biblical. There it is, 1189 days from the pale blue eye with Christian Bale, the Dark Knight. That's basically impossible. It's also 3 years, 3 months, 3 days from the pale blue eye with Christian Bale and Edgar Allan Poe. And that's when we started running the Super Bowl featuring the Ravens and the 49ers because it was all about Edgar Allan Poe and the pale blue eye and the Ravens. That was what I was missing. I had given that to somebody today on a personal email, but I forgot to share it with so yeah, here we go. And so then when you go to that Super Bowl, and that Super Bowl, I believe, was 2013 on February 3rd. That's what it was. Because when you go to the other date, it's 1203. And 203 is the Super Bowl with the Ravens, and this is the Pale Blue Eye, which, quote, the Raven nevermore was Edgar Allan Poe's most famous poem. Edgar Allan poem, goodness gracious. Edgar Allan Poe most famous poem. Can't even talk right now. I've been doing this for so long. It's called The Raven. So the Ravens played the 49ers in the blackout game where there was a blackout, a 33 or 34-minute blackout, depending on whose story. 34 is murder in simple gematria. Not simple gematria. 34 is murder in one of the four base ciphers. I forget which one. So you see how they ran that Super Bowl and made it all hit with the pale blue eye. How they did that date. So that Super Bowl was on February 3rd, 2013. And I think when we ran it to the pale blue eye, well, it does have your 48s, by the way. 48 is his name in one of the four base ciphers. But when we run it to the pale blue eye, what was that again? It was like a December 23rd. When you run that Super Bowl to the pale blue eye, and then it was January 6th, 2023. 9/11 in 3 days. 9 years, 11 months, 3 days. 9/11/3. 11/3 is coded with 9/11 perfectly. I didn't include that in my email today. That's absolutely mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. That Super Bowl with the Ravens and the 49ers to the pale blue eye, which is all about Edgar Allan Poe. It's 9/11/3. They've fused it all together. They've done all this perfectly. I've never seen quadratic equations like this before. Like, I've never seen them bounce this kind of math like they're doing. It's fascinating. And that's what the 49ers are all about. That's what the 49, that's the 4 and the 9. And that does come to when you go to the gematria calculator. Gematria calculator, and you go to the 4 base ciphers. Um, when you key in Antichrist, 49 is Antichrist in reduction. And remember, April 9th comes to 121 Antichrist. And in the reverse, it's 149. And then reverse reduction, it's 68, which is also comes to Donald John Trump in the 68. J. Donald Trump or Donald J. Trump, there's your 68. So, yeah. Now, when you go to the Wednesday series, you do get a 1233, which they began with the Raven, with the red eye at the beginning of and they had the Poe race, the Edgar Allan Poe race. And I also ran Edgar Allan Poe's birthday to all this. Edgar Allan Poe's birthday, January 19th, 1809. January 19th, the Donnie Darko date. You look at them, it's 79,338. You got your 79 for murder, and you got your 38, which is murder and death. It's impossible, and it's all there. 34 is in the weeks. So is 11-3 in the weeks, and it will be on the rising day. And there's your 13-3 is also in the weeks. So Edgar Allan Poe is the big deal. That's why you've got the Baltimore Ravens. That's why they play the 49ers in that Super Bowl. If it goes down on 4-9, we surely think it is. We're just guessing. 79,338. There's your 33. You got your 38. You got your 79. 79 is murder. 38 is murder. 38 is also death. It's death in the simple, and it's 38. 38 is murder and reverse reduction. Death, 38 in ordinal. Murder, 38, reverse reduction. You see the 83 points scored in the basketball game the other night. There's your 83. That's why they did it. They did it in Miami because UFC Miami will be taking place on the rising day. This is what they do. This is how they do it. We think we've got our date. We sure do. Why wouldn't we with everything we're seeing? So you look at the Wednesday, it's 3 years, 4 months, 34 murder. If you include both dates with the Wednesday, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 34 is murder, one of the 4 base ciphers. We just got through bringing it up. It's in reduction, 34. Then you look at Wednesday, this past year's season 2 came out August 6th for 86, and it had the red-eyed raven. 244 and 34 weeks. And then its other release date for the second half was on September 3rd, and it's 218. 6 plus 6 plus 6 is 18. It's 31 weeks, 1 day. You got 11/3, 311 code, the 218, whatever. Y'all, I tell you, this is, hey, it's 11/13, y'all. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I've never seen anything like this before. We've seen strong stuff. I've been amazed before, but it keeps elevating. At some point, it's going to be the date. Not necessarily that we'll know it. So I guess that's not really a true statement all the way around. It could happen, but on a date, I'm never even looking at it. So, but I bet if we were able to go back and look at it, and we won't be able to, internet and everything's going to go down if I don't go down also. Ah, wow. Really feel like we got our date. This is extraordinary stuff. Glad I remember to do this Edgar Allan Poe and everything with you. This was a big deal. The prestige, all of it. This was fascinating. All right, love y'all.